I know you love learning. Yeah, because I keep saying knowledge is power and it is good to learn as much as we can. So today I want to make a video regarding the questions asked at the US point of entry. Why am I doing this video? Because I have seen people being returned at the point of entry in the US because of various reasons. And at the US port of entry, it's normally called POE, port of entry. Like any airport or land border, the CBP officers, who are the CBP, Customs and Border Protection Officers, ask a variety of questions to get to know whether you should be allowed to enter the country or not. Remember, having a visa or being issued with a visa, does not guarantee entry into a particular country. In this case, we are going to talk about the USA point of entry. Yes, because there are people who got visas and they were never allowed to enter because they could not answer their questions accurately. And that is it is very important to be prepared even after getting your visa. You can be refused entry at the port of entry. Yeah, port or point of entry. Yes. And the questions may vary based on your visa type. Yes, and your nationality, your travel history, and any other reason. Yeah, so the questions can vary. It does not mean that because I was asked this question or this person was asked this question, you must be asked the same question. So it is very, very good to be aware that there are questions at the port of entry. Because as I keep saying, the visa officers in your country and the officers at the port of entry in the US are different entities. And those officers at the port of entry can check your information in their database to see whether the information that is given, to ask you questions to see whether whatever you are answering can tally with the information that is in their database. Because remember, I keep saying everything nowadays is electronic. So never lie, because if you lie in the embassy, you can fail the interview at the port of entry. So please, I'm not seeing the comments, darlings. I urge you to watch this video fully. It will be a very short one, very, very educative. You can share it with your relative. Even if you live in the US, you can share it with your relative who is purposing to travel to the US. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel. I'll be giving you very legit tips regarding traveling. Yeah, requirements for various destinations in the world, and I know you're gonna like it. So subscribe if you haven't. I cannot see your comment because I'm on screencast. Just keep liking, comment. Yeah, because I'm trying to use another phone, but I can't see the comment. I can see we are 6 of us. I don't know why I can't see the comments. Let me try and maybe change something, because I want to make this the shortest video possible. Nowadays I'm doing very short videos simply because now I'm sticking to my niche. I do not want to give you a lot of info, too much. I don't want to starve you with 1 minute. Let me try. So the questions that might be asked, not all the time, by the way. Remember, visa officers have different, like when we check travel documents in the airport, we are different. I can ask a passenger this question and another passenger a different question, and sometimes we don't even ask questions depending on the passenger, depending on the nationality, and so many other things, even the physical appearance, by the way. So because we are trained experts. So they can ask you the purpose of your visit. At the point now you have gotten your visa, for example, and you are now entering the US at the immigration control at POE, port of entry. They can ask you, what is the purpose of your visit? Remember, you have to give a very genuine answer to that. People forget that. I have ever seen someone, by the way, I'm not going to mention where, they were traveling to the US and then they were returned at POE, at the port of entry. So I asked her, she was a lady, why were you denied entry? So she told me when they interrogated her at the port of entry, the answers that she gave, she discovered later that they were reading in the system. They were checking in the system as she was answering. And little did she know, whatever reasons she gave at the embassy were very well written in the US database. Everything is normally in the database, my dear. So when she was answering the questions, they discussed, according to how I asked her the questions also, because we remember we do the same, even if it is not exactly the same, we also check travel documents to get to know why you are traveling in a particular destination. So we are more the same, we are more or less the same, whatever, we do more or less the same work. So when she was asked why she was traveling, they discovered that her intent was to go and work in the US, though she had a visitor's visa. Remember, that one can cause denial. Whatever you say in the embassy, because I always say be truthful, be very truthful, so that even when you are asked any questions, you are going to remember what you said, because it was the truth. So my friend didn't say the truth, and so she was returned, and she had a visa, and the visa was cancelled. That one was serious. The visa was cancelled and she was banned. Yeah, they cancelled the visa and she was given a ban. So then another question they shall ask at the port of entry, how long do you plan to stay? Yes. Remember, they have the information in the database. So if you answer wrongly, they can refer to the database in their system and see whether you are lying or you are talking the truth. So then they can ask you, where will you be staying? Yes, be prepared to answer that question. Especially for some nationalities, they can ask those questions, but not all the time. And questions can vary depending on the passenger, the nationality, and the document that they have. And then they can ask you, do you have a return ticket? Never make a mistake of traveling to the US or anywhere where you are visiting without a return ticket. Gracious, hi, thank you so much for coming. I'm teaching. Yeah, thank you so much and God bless you. Then they can ask you another question. Have you been to the US before? When were you there? If you say yes, they can ask you, when were you there and for how long did you stay? That is why I have been saying, never lie to a visa officer. Remember, if you lie, you cannot even remember some things. And whatever you said in the embassy should tally with what you are saying at the port of entry. Then a very other tricky question. Do you know anyone in the US? Who are they to you? This one is very tricky and many people fail because of this. Someone was returned because of that question. Why? They were so excited to say, I have a boyfriend in the US. Remember, when you say that, automatically they are going to suspect that your intention is to go and live in the US. And the visa that you are having is a visitor's visa. That is a very tricky question. But if that is what you said in the embassy and they gave you a visa, you have to talk the truth all the time. But that is normally very tricky, because even when someone is applying for a US visa, they can deny you a visa moot play because of having relatives in the US. There are people who have got relatives in the US. When they go to get a visa, sometimes the visa officers can suspect that maybe you want to go and immigrate illegally in the US with a visitor's visa. So, do you know anyone in the US? When they ask you that question, tell them the relationship between you and that person. Don't start saying, yes, I know Jack, I know Jacqueline, I know Mary, I know who. Tell them the relationship. Yes, I have someone that I know. She is my auntie. Yes, I have a relative in the US. She is my uncle. Yes, I have a friend in the US. Tell them the relationship. Don't start mentioning names. Kazi, hi. Thank you so much, Paris Life. I'll do a very short one of about 20 minutes. Thank you so much, my friend, for coming. So when they ask you a question, if you know anyone in the US, tell them who that person is to you. Is it a sister, a brother, a mother, or a father? Because I said, I'm fine, Kazi. How are you? Yesterday I visited you, my friend. Thank you so much and God bless you. Let us keep up the fire burning of supporting one another. It is not easy to be in YouTube. It is very hard, by the way. I think I have to fight a lot. I have to fight on and pull up the socks so that I cannot be slack. So those are the questions that they can ask. Be accurate in your answers. The other questions that they may ask. Yeah, thank you so much, Kazi. God bless you. The other question that they may ask, how will you support yourself during your stay? That one can also be another question. And then they can ask you, do you have sufficient funds? And in asking whether you have sufficient funds or finances, they can ask to see your credit cards, cash, bank statements, or such things. So be prepared with your credit cards, bank statements. You can have a printed copy of your bank statement. You can have a soft copy, 2 printed copies. It's always good to have all those things. Even if they are not going to ask, it is better you carry as many documents as you may carry, instead of them asking for them and you don't have them. Though it is not a must, they ask you that questions. Some people have been asked those questions. Yes, so it can happen. And then they can ask you, what do you do for a living? Be very careful to say the truth, because you have to say the truth. Yes, if you are a farmer, say you are a farmer and have supporting evidence. If you are employed, you can show them by maybe your pay slips or something, just to show that really you are employed, know your organization's name. Yes, have all that information and be prepared to answer without shaking, without panicking. Remember, when you start panicking, someone can even suspect you. Only give answers, very short answers. Don't show a lot of excitement that, oh, I want to go and see my friend. Just say, I want to go and visit my friend, my sister. Don't give stories. They do not have time for stories. And they can ask you, are you employed in your home country? If they ask you further questions, be ready to answer. Be composed. Yes, do not be nervous. Nervousness can be a suspicious sign which can cause you to be denied entry. So never be nervous. So for tourist visas, the questions can be more, because when you have a tourist visa and maybe they want to get to know whether seriously you want to do a visit, or you want to go and maybe do other things, they can ask you, what places are you planning to visit? And that is why I said, when I was teaching regarding application of visa or denial of visa, I did another video regarding why a visa can be denied. Now this one is a different one regarding the questions asked at the port of entry. So they can ask you, what places are you planning to visit? So have a detailed itinerary. Have a detailed plan. An itinerary is a travel plan showing all wherever you are going to visit, all the accommodations and everything. And they can even ask you, do you have a booked accommodation? A booked accommodation here is a hotel booking. Maybe if you are not being hosted by someone, because there are some people who visit on themselves. Yes, they want to go to Disney or other places in the US. They pay for themselves and they visit. So be ready to give out the details regarding your accommodation. Then they can ask a very, very funny question. And remember, you are on a tourist visa. Now I'm talking about tourists. They can even ask you, or maybe a student, yeah, Are you planning to work during your stay? There was someone I heard saying, and he was a pastor, by the way. He was asked, but now he was asked a very funny question. Okay, are you planning to work during your visit? Imagine you have a visit visa and you are being asked. But now for him, he was asked in the embassy during the visa application process, during his interview. So he was asked, are you planning to go and can you work in the US if you get a job? And he was applying for a visitor's visa. So he said very excitedly, of course. So he got a instant denial, because now he was applying for a visitor's visa. He had gone for an interview, so he was denied. But way later, he discovered the purpose of denial, or the reason was because he said he can work if he gets a job, and remember he had a visitor's visa. So that one, the answer should always be no, capital no. Because you can tell the officers at the port of entry, no, I cannot work because I'm on a tourist visa. So for students, for those that go on F1 visa, yes, for the students who have got the F1 visa for study, they can ask you, what school are you going to? So always have all the information, be prepared to answer all the questions without being nervous, without panicking, and then they can ask you, what program are you studying? Be very prepared to answer that question in case they ask you. Not all the time, but sometimes they can do random checks on particular passages. They can ask you whether you have your I-20 certificate. The I-20 certificate is issued to students going to study in the US. So together with the visa, they can issue you they normally issue an I-20 form from the school. Have it with you, please, either on soft copy and on hard copy. But I prefer, even if you have it on soft, have it on hard copy too. Another question they can ask the H-1B visa passengers. The H-1B visa is a work visa. Yes, for those who are going to work in the US. For the H-1B visa, they can ask you, who is your employer? Who is your employer? You have to know, you have to answer very accurately, giving the right answers only. They can also ask you, what is your job title and role? Remember that one, you have to answer very accurately. The other question they can ask you, if you are going on a H-1B visa, where will you be working? You have to give them the exact location of where you shall be working. Then, remember we have got the immigration history. Yes. They can ask you, for example, have you ever been denied a US visa or entry? Because maybe you have applied for a visa previously and you are denied. Or maybe you got the visa, but at the point of entry you are denied. Give the right information all the time. Never lie in any point, whether it is at port of entry or at the visa application. Always say yes if you are denied and give reasons. It does not mean that because you are denied before, they have to deny again. Every case is judged on its own specifically. So, they can also ask you, are you bringing any prohibited items, food, or agricultural products? For example, you should not, let me advise you something. When you are traveling abroad, maybe, okay, let's say when you are traveling maybe to Canada, to the US, to the UK, do not be tempted to carry meat products. Animal products, for example, eggs, even agricultural. Sports. Hi, George. Oh, thank you so much, George. How are you? Thank you for coming, George. I'll do a very short one regarding USA port of entry. And then, yeah, thank you so much, my brother. God bless you, my brother, for coming. Yeah, thank you. So when you are traveling, I have seen people carrying sausages, and then they are confiscated in the airports. I cannot say where. I'm not specific regarding any airport, So never ask me about any airport. Yeah, I give general information regarding traveling. Thank you so much, George. God bless you. So avoid carrying eggs, meat, sausages, potatoes, plants. Okay, plants. Remember, when you are carrying plants, don't even try, by the way. Such things you have to go through other whatever processes. I'm not gonna teach regarding that. So avoid animal products, agricultural products, avoid them in your bag. Don't carry sausages. Eat as much as you can in your home, and then don't. You can go and eat the sausages in that country. So that one they can ask you, always give the right answer. Because imagine you say no and you have them, and then when they check in your bag, if they think of checking your bag randomly, they check and find them, that one will be an instant denial to enter. So say the truth. If you carried them by mistake, say that you did not know. If they're gonna fine you or forgive you, let it be. But never lie. Yeah. Thank you so much, George. God bless you so much, my brother. Thank you so much for your kindness, George. May God bless you. Yeah, so such things as some of the questions. Remember your behavior, your general behavior. For example, your demeanor, your body language. Those things are very important. The body language, remember, speaks even more than the verbal. So the body language should be very, very consistent with whatever you are saying. Yeah, don't panic, don't be nervous because you are truthful. Because I always say, let us be authentic from A to Z all the time. And remember, your story must be consistent. Whatever you are saying at the port of entry, the question that they are asking, they must be consistent. So consistency is very key at the port of entry, POE in the US. And this one applies to all other countries that you are entering. More so countries in Europe, for example, Germany, going to Switzerland, and even Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, those major countries. And then we have got some questions that they can ask you, which are very tricky questions. Listen very carefully. And be careful before you answer them when you are going to the US. They can ask you, are you planning to get married in the US? That one is a very tricky question. So be very careful in answering. I'm not going to give you the answer. Remember, you are on a visitor's visa. So when answering that question, be very careful and talk the truth. There's another question that is very risky that can cause you a denial or a refusal is, are you looking for a job? Imagine they're asking you whether you are looking for a job and yet you have a visitor's visa. Remember, when you say yes, that is an automatic refusal. And they can ask another very tricky question. Will you be staying with your boyfriend or girlfriend? Remember, that one is also very tricky. Yes. And when you answer yes to those three questions, let me repeat them. Are you planning to get married in the US? The other one. Will you be staying with your boyfriend or girlfriend? The other one. Are you looking for a job? Remember, when you say yes to these questions, it may suggest immigration intent or immigrant intent. They might think, or it might suggest, though maybe you are talking the truth from your heart, it can suggest that your intention or the intent is to immigrate in the US. And remember, that one now is illegal because now you have a visitor's visa. So those are some of the questions they can ask you, the ready questions, which can cause a refusal depending on the immigration officer. So be very calm all the time and respectful. Never lose your temper. Even in the airport, never lose your temper. In the embassy, when applying for the visa, never lose your temper. At the port of entry, never lose your temper. Because remember, when you lose your temper, they are not going to accept you in that country. Answer what is asked. Don't give stories. Don't narrate stories, by the way. Answer what is asked. Have your documents ready. Your return ticket, hotel booking, invitation letter, proof of funds. Have them ready, please. Not have a problem. You cannot have a problem when you are at the point of entry. Someone is knocking on the door. That's why I was closing the door, because I'm almost finishing. So, your documents should be handy. Keep them very handy. And never forget, do never put such documents in your checked baggage. Put them in your hand luggage, and let them be somewhere you can get them very easily. Another thing I can say, because I have also seen that in airports, never lie or guess. Never guess anything. Because remember, when you guess, and then they ask you another further questions to verify what you have answered, you are not going to get the answer right. And that one can cause a refusal. If you don't know, say you don't know. Remember, saying that you don't know is not rude, and that is being truthful. If you don't know something, please say that you don't know. But don't guess, never lie, be truthful, explain yourself, answer only what is asked. Don't give stories that I'm so excited because I'm coming to the US. It has been my dream to come to visit. Don't give such stories. Just answer the questions. Be very calm. Be very respectful. And may God bless you. I'm not going to make this a long video because it is just a teaching, or it is just a small training on what can happen at the port of entry, or the questions that you can be asked at the port of entry. So thank you very much. God bless you. Subscribe to my channel, like the video, watch it fully. It can help you or help your relative. Even if you live in the US, remember, you don't know the questions that are asked. Maybe you have a passport for US, maybe you have a green card. So you can share it with your relatives, friends, and may God bless you. Otherwise, have a nice one. I'm going to come and keep teaching regarding travel rules. Thank you so much. Thank you so much once again, and bye for now. God bless you all. Do not forget to like the video, please. I can see we are 7. Before even I conclude, kindly like the video. Thank you so much, George. May God bless you too. You have been so kind to me, and may God bless your channel. May God give you good viewers, authentic audience, and may you prosper in every way, in your family, in your career. Whatever you plan, may the goodness of the Lord overshadow you. So thank you so much, my sisters and my brothers. Like that video, subscribe to my channel. I'll keep teaching and teaching and teaching until Jesus comes. Bye.